Alright, hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Diamond in the Rough. Our creative Terran mastermind who, let's be real, we started to see a few too many repeat strategies, so I have delved through, sifted the replays, and found you only his finest and freshest strategies, and we've got a good one coming through here. I don't actually know how this game ends, but I opened the replay, I saw the opening, and I said, whoa, 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 show me no more. I want to watch this live with you guys and let you all see it here on the YouTube channel. So this is going to be a good one. A sneaky surprise. There will be ravens. Up here in the top right, representing Storm and always looking creative as ever, showing us things with Terran tech units that you never thought was possible. It's Ruff. Down here at the bottom left of the map in the red, the opponent hiding his identity like a coward. It is, of course, your friendly neighborhood barcode. You know, they always say if you're going to play Terran versus Terran, it's a very tight matchup. You're going to be organized. You're going to have all your pencils in a row. And that is indeed who this player is. Pencils in a row! Army of snakes, packet of spaghetti. I mean, we've seen many iterations of this player, and honestly, at this point, I think I'm actually going to cast a game just calling him Barcode. That's it. we're not even going to use a creative name. I'm done. I've used up every possible name. Shout out fresh ones in the comments, please, and I will be using those for my future Barcode casts. If you have a good name for one of these Barcode players who uses an indistinguishable line of uppercase I's, lowercase L's, and the number ones to hide their identity, please do let me know what your favorite things out there are. Packet of Pocky? Maybe we'll have to use that for the next one. For now, though, our Barcode player has done an SCV scout, and it's a double gas opening. So we saw a nice early command center and an early tech lab. Of course, Ruff's very safe Marauder opening. The Marauder kicking the shit out of any early Reaper in direct combat, just not quite as mobile. And pulling off gas here. Down to just one on each gas. Wow, this is going to be a very early command center. 2 minutes and 18 seconds. And no doubt we'll start funneling those back onto gas in just a little while. For now, that one Reaper does actually jump up the ledge. And oh, Ruff, you got to keep that in between the bases to be safe. And he's a little slow to respond here as Ruff is going to lose at least an SCV. Nice micro here. As the Barcode player, he's already rotating away from those SCVs. Can he get a second one? Ooh, good pullback by Ruff, but still goes down. And the Marauder not attack moved. Oh, Ruff. A little bit of miss micro there. It does take a bit of damage to SCVs, and the weakness of the Marauder opening there is that, you know, not quite as mobile. The strength, though, is, of course... Ooh, Reaper's coming back in. Hold that thought, hold that thought. Oh, can he get the SCV? Oh, he bounces it away and gets it. Nice micro. This Barcode, truly a tryhard. I was going to say the weakness is the Marauder. It's never going to lose a Reaper fight, no matter how slow your reactions are, how bad your micro is. But I'll tell you what, it's a little less mobile. Not going to be able to respond to wherever that Reaper goes. And if he jumps up again, Marine at the front, Marauder on the high ground. And I think the Reaper wisely does not jump up there. Wow, look at this. A third command center goes down before Starport. Oh, you could not have a greedier follow-up than this. What's he got behind it? A tank? Wow. I mean, there are some actually really nasty Marauder attacks that can come out. But I think it's really smart. The Barcode player said, look, as long as there's no proxy or anything, I mean, I saw a command center in a bunker. What could he possibly do to me? I mean, that's just a really economic safe build. But if I just rush my third command center, I've killed 3 SCVs, now I can go into more Marine tank production. This is actually ridiculously safe. Very smart play out of this Barcode. He's going to be getting ahead. And Ruff here. I told you guys it was a good opening. That's right. That's a second starport. Yes, of course. It is, of course, Ruff. Ooh, Reaper doesn't get in to see it either. Getting that starport on a tech lab, and he's going to go straight for a Raven, and he's going to land this factory on here and go into Hellion production, immediately starting the Corvid reactor. I always almost mispronounce that. I'm just like, Blizzard is part of the Illuminati? Hello? Hello? How do they realize that this disease-like graphic here, and they called it COVID reactor? Oh, what? And you're like, it's Corvid. Corvid reactor. It's a powerful reactor. Gives them bonus 25 energy when the Ravens spawn. It won't be ready for the first one, but I think it should be ready for any future ones. Let's see if Ruff knows the timing on this. Because a Raven, I'm not sure. A Raven takes 43 seconds. So, oh, he starts them both just before. No, you got to cancel those and restart them. You can only start them from now. Otherwise, they won't. Actually, I'm bad at maths. That's 33. Never mind. They'll both pop with the upgrade. Always when you've got an energy upgrade like that, you've always got to make sure they pop out just after the upgrade finishes, or obviously you're just losing energy for no reason, right? So, oh no, he gets scanned. He gets scanned. That's really bad. And already into double Viking production, which will shut down these units quite well. Ruff kind of pretends he's moving out here and just turns around. So like I said, I was off by 10 seconds. I thought these were going to pop 5 seconds late. They're going to pop 5 seconds within the window. Perfect. Corvid Reactor kicks in, and they both start up. So the Ravens popping on out there 2 at a time. Hellion's starting to mass out as well. Remember, there's been very little damage so far. 3 SCVs gone down on Ruff's side. 1 Reaper falling as our barcode player already moves out to take that third, and he's going to go straight for a second starport. I feel like Marines are actually a better counter to Ravens, in my opinion. I feel like as long as you've got more Vikings than the Raven player, it's enough to like pick away at them from afar. But like countering it with your own double reactor Viking, now that's fascinating. That's going to get really weird. So we're going to have mass Viking from the barcode up against mass Raven Hellion from Ruff. There's still tanks on the ground for barcode who should be able to cover the bases with those. Hellions and a Cyclone come out. They clear a Marine. Third command's going to go down on location. Ruff! Oh my, taking a third at a decent time. Now, that being said, don't get too excited, Pig. Ruff almost never builds SCVs for a third base. even when he builds it on time, usually he doesn't keep building SCVs while he attacks, but this is actually a pretty scary attack. So it can't really break through the tanks, I think because the Vikings are covering it. It would be too energy intensive, but if he can just do run-bys, do some interference matrix, some auto turrets, that would be pretty good. He does a scan, and oh, it's a double scan. He sees most of the tanks are up there out of position, and our barcode player caught slipping gets a single tank shot on the aliens. He's going to have 1 tank there, but auto turrets going down on top of it. Oh, the Vikings are going to come back, though. Auto turrets do go down behind this army. 1 of the Vikings falls, and that siege tank on top of the ramp doing good damage, but already so many SCVs have fallen, and even more are going to go down. All those SCVs on the bottom getting roasted. The tank on the ramp gets busted. These auto turrets doing good damage against the Vikings, but the Ravens are falling here. If you can get down 1 more auto turret, that would be nice, but it does go down. And good damage done by Ruff, but he loses every single Raven. I don't know if that's worth it. Does bring that tank fire onto the friendly tank. 23 SCVs is pretty damn good. Those are the first SCVs he killed this game. So that's good economic damage. Unfortunately, as I said, he wasn't really building SCVs behind it. If Ruff queued up a few workers behind his pushes, I feel like he'd be so ahead in like every one of his games, because his pushes are always the sickest thing ever. Wait, does he have Neo Steel? He's got Neo Steel frame. His buildings have +2 armor, and he's got extra space in his bunkers. Super cool. But those Vikings do take that out. I like that the Ravens dodged this. Unfortunately, this base is well covered by siege tanks. That auto turret, it's going to damage a tank. It won't actually kill it, though. That's a well-placed auto turret doing some good damage. At the other side, the Vikings landing. The planetary is not quite finished right now. They're going to do damage to that. Auto turret's dropping in the main. They're going to find some damage, but they're going to all get shot down. Those Vikings will hunt them down. The planetary on the side, he's trying to repair it. He takes out 1, 2, 3 Vikings. Can he get a 4th? Oh, he gets 2 in 1 shot there. Dude, if he got 1 more shot off, he would have taken that down to 2 Vikings, and I think he could have mass repaired it. Oh, he does a Hellion run by at the same time. Unfortunately, not focus firing. If he focused on a few of those SCVs and mules, that would have been some good damage, but he loses his 3rd. That's a bummer. Ruff here. He's got plenty of scan energy that he could just dump into mules right now, give him a temporary boost, but the problem is his main's going to mine out, so he's got to rebuild this command center on the high ground as he pivots here in his tech. He's building Ravens, but he's adding 3 factories with tech labs, vehicle weapon upgrade, and he's going to build a big round of 5 Hellions. So he wants to have a nice mobile Hellion squad on the map. If he's going to do a lot of Hellion run bys, Blue Flame would be useful, but if I were him, I'd be more worried about tanks and Vikings pushing across the map and just killing me, right? I mean, these turrets seem cute. I don't think they're really necessary, though, right? I feel like you could just mass expand or do a giant attack as the barcode player, but I think after taking so many losses of those SCVs, almost 30 this game, is like, let's just make sure any Raven trip in here is a one-way trip. Let's make sure if they drop auto turrets, it has to be on the very edge, and they got to fly away straight away. And it is 3 base up against 2, so a good economy advantage. The barcode is rebuilt here. It just needs to finish saturating that 3rd base as this natural oversaturates, and Ruff is swapping into Thor production. He's got double armor. He's going to go 1-1 upgrades, fascinatingly. Remember, no Blue Flame. He sees landed Vikings and siege tanks there, and he's like, nope, ain't going to have none of that. Wait. He does another scan? over to the left side. Oh, okay. So he's thinking, you know what? Maybe I could come in. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, no, no. Ruff, what are you doing? Oh, he wanted to click on the Reddit point tank. Only 2 Hellions, 3 Hellions is not the worst for a siege tank, I guess. Tank's usually the more important unit. But Ruff now going to move out to his third base. He's down 12 workers. He's got another squad of Ravens out. So those could be really useful. I feel like with that many Vikings on the field, your Ravens either stay way in reserve, hope your opponent lands your Vikings, starts using them as a raw combat unit, and then you bring in the Ravens, or you just do run bys, especially this third base. So if you wait for him to move out, or even this fourth, you've got enough there. You could drop enough auto turrets to kill a command center. Remember, auto turrets do 18 damage a shot. They don't last very long, but they shoot very fast. They do a crazy amount of damage. And 10 seconds they last for. So I think they get about maybe 15 shots. I think they shoot almost as fast as a Marine. Not as fast as a Stim Marine, of course, but still pretty damn good. Dude, 2 ship weapons and armor on the way. No vehicle upgrades at all. It has servos. Oh my god, so these Vikings are super quick to land and left, and they're actually going to be pretty damn good fighting units, even though the tanks won't be that good. That being said, Thors can do pretty good splash damage if the Vikings clump up a lot. Even though Vikings are armored, the splash damage can be quite okay. Scan there, sees that Ruff has a planetary up on that third base, and Ruff going to take a fourth as well. Blue Flame and transformation servos for Ruff as well. Much bigger economy for the barcode player. Let's check the production though. 3 factories, 3 starports. That's pretty heavy on the starports, whereas Ruff is 4 factories, 2 star. They're both pretty low on production because they've been building such fancy tech units like reacted starports. That is a way to build so many expensive units, but I don't know. I don't know if they're the best units in the long term. This is going to be really interesting to see. I mean, Ruff's going to move around the left side, and our barcode player, he's building mass turret right now. Wait, why are you massing turrets when you already have mass Vikings? Don't you already have air control? Why do you need missile turrets everywhere? This is like, I think we're just seeing the mindset of a player who just is such a mech player. Just wants to always have mass static defense no matter what. Thor, Hellbat, Raven coming on in. A few auto turrets do go down there. And uh-oh, turrets doing some good damage to these Ravens. Hellbat start to break the tank line a little bit. Oh, you don't want to be losing those Ravens though. The Thors are all on single fire mode, so these clumped up Vikings not being punished as hard as they potentially could have been. Auto turrets do go down. Vikings landing on Thors. Unsieged tanks and landed Vikings. Oh my god, the auto turrets are slaying them. Even landed the anti-armor missile. These Gauss cannon, 12mm Gauss cannon auto turrets shooting twice a second, and they were doing 21 damage a shot to those Vikings. I guess they have 1 armor, so it's only 22, but only 20 damage a shot, but still. Dude, I think that the Red Army was so much better there. But look at that efficiency. And even saving 5 of the Ravens to fight another day. I would actually, at that point, after that fight where you killed so many Vikings, I would power up some more Ravens. The next time you get a bit of gas, which, check it out, he's taking the gas and taking a 5th over there. Yeah, take these gases as well. Keep those Ravens going, dude. This is sick. Raven, Thor, Hellbat, mech. Dude, I'm going to try this. Next time I play mech, I am absolutely trying out this style at a TVT. What's really cool is your army is so bloody simple. The only change I'd have is if they keep massing Vikings like this, always have 2 Thors in splash damage mode. And if you can mix a few Widow Mines in, ooh, juicy. This mass Viking production is very bad against splash damage because the Vikings are naturally going to clump up a lot. They're really going to kind of just jam themselves together a little bit. Now, our barcode player still has a bit better vision. It's actually, sorry, it's Ruff who's scanning? Is it? I don't. Where the hell were those scans? I have no idea.
Ready to blunder.
I think I missed those scans. Okay. So what do we got? 6 Thors, 3 Hellbats, a Marauder, a Marine, 5 Ravens. Ruff's production coming to a bit of a standstill. He's really got to choose what he's going to commit to here. A scan comes forward and sees no units there. Mass tank Viking, 12 Vikings, 13 tank. That's a good army. That should be able to break through, honestly. I feel like Ruff needs to catch him unsieged and kind of flank him a little bit because the Thors are going to get stuck behind each other. If he lands mass interference matrix, that could be enough. He's going to land an anti-armor missile and a few interference matrices. A few. Oh my god. 7 interference matrices go down. Is there enough Thors though? Dude, there might not be enough Thors. He drops 1 auto turret. That's going to run out. An auto turret goes down. Oh, these Thors are cracking through. He's going to do it. I think he's going to do it with that extra auto turret. Yes, he's just barely got the numbers. 2 more Thors rally in. but he cleans up all the siege tanks. He does manage to hold on against this push. Has Ruff got the production, though? He's building a barracks. He lost his barracks earlier, which is why he hasn't been able to build a factory or a starport. He's been frozen on just 6 production facilities. So he's building more units now, but he's going to try to buy time with a Hellion run by the Barcode player, though, leaving heaps of tanks at home. If the Barcode actually brought all these tanks, I think he would have killed Ruff. Imagine if he had 4 more tanks sieged in the back that whole time. But our Barcode player is leaving so many units at home. He's worried about run-bys, worried about counterattacks. Now, Ruff here just hanging on. Those Ravens are getting mad value. Keep that in mind, right? He is ahead. 4,000 resources lost. But he needs more factories, man. He ends up building 1 more after building that barracks because he's so broke right now. Thors are pretty damn expensive units. But, yeah, I feel like... Oh, actually, he's got 3-3 as well. And our Red Terran player is building battle cruisers one at a time. But even with 3-3, I don't know, even with 3-3 and Yamato, I mean, battle cruisers, they're a great harassment unit. If he uses them to harass, they'll be good. In a pitched fight, though, those high-impact payload Thors, dude, they will destroy the battle cruisers with their Punisher cannons from afar. They will smash them. They will smush them out of the sky. And I love that this game is reset. Ruff actually has the bigger army right now. Ruff actually has a giant economy. He's got to stop building SCVs. As otherwise Ruff might actually struggle. And you know what? This map isn't that big. There's this base for Red and this base for Ruff. So they both get 1 more base. Mass tanks coming down. But he's actually lost most of his Vikings. So the risk that's being run by our Barcode player is that the Ravens just lock down all the Thors and tanks. And he just gets overwhelmed, right? So what he needs is something to deal with these, like more Vikings, Widow Mines, maybe? Some more Thors in splash damage mode. Let's check. These Thors. Oh, he's put the Punisher cannons out. He needs to go back to his Javelin missile launchers. So for those, the Ravens are very, like, they clump up and they're light, which means the Javelin missiles, the Thor splash damage actually does more damage because they're all kind of clumped up, but it also just does double to light units. So you got a 148 point unit that naturally clumps a lot. And we see here this army gets scanned. He sees Mass Raven Thor tank, Raven Thor Hellbat coming forward here. He's going to try and move over to respond. Slight army advantage in terms of the supply for our Barcode. Like, I don't know, man. This could go either way. Ooh, Ruff. I don't like Ruff attacking somewhere where he's expected. I think this is a really bad move. He's going to try to break through. Lands an anti-armor missile. I think this is a really bad push, though, with those tanks sieged up there. Oh, Ruff's trying to break through, but this is a crazy area to push. His tanks are getting blasted. He's going to drop mass interference matrices and just try to push through, but no way. A bad decision by Ruff. He tries to hold position and take down some Vikings, but his interference matrix is wearing off, and he's now lost 17 Thors in this game. I think about 5 or 6 went down just there. That was a very ill-fated move by Ruff. You cannot force yourself through turret tank when the whole army's there. If he didn't know he was coming, Ruff might have been able to go through. But a little bit of a wild move, a little bit cavalier. Now, I think the Barcode player could counter-push here and give Ruff a hard time, but he's giving Ruff time to rebuild. Ruff still wants to make this A-move army, though, and I'm a big fan of Vibe. I just don't know if Vibe's Bronze to GM, you know, it's the guide of how to get through Gold League. I don't know if that's going to work against a Grandmaster mech player down here, man. I feel like even though this Barcode player is kind of a bit of a weirdo, clearly, he's going to be able to wear you down. Now, the only problem is the battle cruisers. You can't use battle cruisers in a frontal fight. That'll just lose to Thors and Ravens. And there's already Mass Raven out, which kind of counters the battle cruisers. So Quest, I think going this many BCs, 7, if he stops at 7 battle cruisers, I'm okay with it. But what we really need to see is these battle cruisers run in, kill a bunch of SCVs, Yamato some stuff, scan ahead, and as soon as the Ravens get anywhere near them, they need to teleport out of there. If he doesn't do that and he gets interference matrices, they'll be locked down, they won't be able to teleport, they'll be in big trouble. Ruff here, how quickly does he respond? Pretty quickly. He's on his way. He's swapping those Thors into Punisher Cannon mode. And look at that lovely scan. So the red player, our Barcode, sees this. Now, is he going to try to Yamato before he gets out? No, very safe. I would have liked to see him Yamato this planetary or this gas or whatever. Just any damage you can get with those battle cruisers. But look at that. Mass turret building on the right. Mass turret on the left as well. He knows those battle cruisers are just going to keep running down either side of the map and seeing what they can do. Of course, it's going to be a while, another 50 seconds till the next tactical jump's ready. But if you send them down the other side, by the time they get in trouble up there, usually it's cooled down. So a bit more activity from the barcode player would be a way of just wearing Ruff down over time. The only problem as well is not taking this base. He's going to take mass turret. Why is he... Oh my god, that's a lot of turrets. So both players have been spending a lot of minerals. You've got to be wary on this map. Because remember what I said about this map. This map only has a limited number of bases. They're already mostly mining out all these bases. So taking 1 billion turrets to secure one expansion that only has like 10,000 minerals on it, it's just not worth that much. I think it's like 8,000 minerals a base or something like that. It's 1,800 times 4 plus 900 times 4. You do the maths. I have a small brain. I'm not good with numbers. Oh, what's that? What's that down below the video? Oh, 17 comments doing the maths for me? Wow, Pig, how did you graduate school? Oh, thank you, guy who has enough free time to comment in the YouTube section. I'm sorry, I bowed down. You are much smarter and wiser than me. Thank you for your schooling. Speaking of schooling, ooh, that battlecruiser on the left got destroyed, but nice interference matrices. Yamato revenge. Oh, but he actually goes way too deep. Yamato's some of them. Some interference matrices do go down 1 on one of the battlecruisers. Where are the tanks? Where are the tanks? Those tanks on the left doing massive damage. That tank there is firing in a big way. The battlecruisers, they went back in for way too long there, though. Where are the tanks? They're all on the right side. Our barcode player is... These tanks, as the Thors kind of just push into them, they're going to take a lot of damage. They need to get away from these tanks, but Ruff right now on the left, he's bleeding into these siege tanks. He's going to lose... Yeah, he'll lose those very badly. The Ravens need to do more damage than this. It's only a matter of time until he brings these tanks back. More tanks on the way. Our barcode player, I wonder if he's ever realized that if he just builds a pack of his own Thors, it shuts this army down pretty well. I don't know, man. I'm not sure, especially if they're in Javelin missile mode. Look at how clumped those Ravens are. Just 2 or 3 Thor volleys on that, and they're toast, mate. These Thors, though, now going to move up to the left. So Ruff is going to try to break that base. He's using auto turrets on the left. Those 2 tanks are going to go down. And a little bit too much respect for the auto turrets here. These tanks all sieging. You cannot lose this left base right now. There's only 1 tank left there. That command center is going to try and get out a bunch of auto turrets to secure the kill. Is it worth it? He's thinking about it, but he says, nah, I don't really want to waste all that energy. He's just going to evict this base for now as Thors start to clear the turrets on the right side of this map. Nice moves by Ruff using his mech walkers. Yeah, I feel like just having a pack of Thors in front of the tanks would be so powerful, right? Just anything to just do damage on these Ravens and Thors as they come on in. There's only so much interference matrix, and remember, interference matrix, I think you've got a range of about 8 or 9, 7 maybe on that spell. Thor's anti-air range is 11. They will kill multiple Ravens before those spells get off every time. It's scary to have a lot of big units that are so vulnerable to it. So he's going to actually go Vikings, and that can work really well as well. He's just got to not get too close to the Thors. He's got to micro those very nicely and keep the battlecruisers out of the army. At this point, it's starting to dawn on me that our Red Terran barcode player is truly a mech player. And what I mean by that is he doesn't use control groups for his army. So you can kind of see why he keeps leaving these tanks behind, because he's just box controlling everything. So it's very common. This is very common in RTS in 2021. Players at GM not using control groups. Let's be real. There are Brood War pro gamers who didn't use control groups in StarCraft. True. That's a true, not a chew. It's a true fact about a player called True. Control grouped his hatcheries and nothing else. He felt like it made it worse for him to micromanage chaotic situations. Ooh, these turrets with high-sec auto-tracking and with the armor actually doing a lot of damage to that BC, man. Okay, he's got to make sure they don't get caught by the Ravens. He's got to make sure he doesn't get caught by the Ravens. Where are the Yamatos, dude? Ultra safe play with the BCs. He's just not Yamatoing as much as he could. I feel like you want to use Yamato to pick off a few buildings there, do some damage, even just force the repair. But right now, Ruff doing a splendid job. He's like, dude, there's gas here. There's minerals you're leaving on the table. He's going to mule these minerals as quickly as possible, try to eat them all up, minus gas. If he can steal all this gas while keeping his opponent busy, he's getting way more resources to play with. And remember, he's been more efficient in this game. All these missile turrets aren't really doing anything. No, you can't run your Vikings over the Thors. Oh my god, that Thor volley just did so much damage to those Vikings. Holy crap. I mean, the siege tanks can definitely beat this army, but he's got to be in position. And right now, oh, okay, those Thors getting ahead of themselves. The tanks are going to have a good time on that left flank. One tank falls, but 2 Thors have already gone down. Where's the rest of the tanks? The tanks aren't moving. Where's the siege tanks? They're all out of the fight on the right side. The Vikings and BCs are going to attack move over this. And the Thors have an absolute party on this army. Vikings are trying to land on top of the Thors. Is that actually going to work? No way. The Viking land worked. Ruff a little slow on those auto turrets. If he got those down a little bit earlier, maybe he would have done it. That was the sloppiest fight of all time from our barcode, but he just knew that he had enough Vikings to push back the Ravens and just enough units to overwhelm. I cannot believe that worked. I really am like, dude, that is the craziest engage ever. Rather than just moving his tanks over, he's like, let's just go with the Vikings and BCs. But apparently he knows the power of Vikings a lot more than I do. See, I was there like, this isn't going to work. Ooh, he does see this base getting mined. He's like, how dare you? How dare you mine some of my resources? Ruff, I think, already mined about 800 minerals. Maybe 1 or 2, maybe 200 gas out of that. So that's good. Anything you can steal there is powerful. You do need to kill Ruff's gas geyser as well. Definitely needs to repair some of these units. So Ruff is remaxing on more Thors. He says, well, it worked in all the fights. That last one, it didn't. But you know what? I think I was a bit too far out of the map. We're going to rebuild Thor Raven and see what we can find here now. Ruff's mining this base pretty fresh. This base pretty fresh. He's got 2,500 gas there, as well as 1,100 gas there. This base is almost completely out. 100 gas remaining. No gas remaining there. So it's about 3,600 gas on Ruff's side of the map. Meanwhile, over here, Barcode has 900 gas there. About 1,100. So that takes us to 2,000. Oh, 2,000 plus another 3,000. So 5,000 gas. There's a lot more gas on this side of the map. Remember that Ruff's been pumping out Ravens. So he's actually chewed through his gas a bit quicker. He's got more gas in the bank right now, but it looks like he's maybe 1,000 total less gas, if you count his bank, on his side of the map to mine from. Widow Mines plus Drilling Claws coming in. Oh, that'll fuck up the Ravens really hard. But, I mean, I don't know. Ruff's been really good with the Ravens. I actually feel like Widow Mines would be more effective against the Barcode, because the Barcode's the one who keeps clumping the Vikings up and just being like, ugh, and just charging over the Thors. If you have a few Widow Mines in there, that'd be huge. Alright, these BCs going to come in. That 6 battlecruisers. There's 3 more building. Once again, very heavy on the BCs. Yamato. Oh, he's going to Yamato the planetary, not the turrets. That's a weird choice. Is he going to just click it? Oh, he just clicks it. That's a wise move. Just takes it out. Takes out a gas geyser. Oh, no, he stayed too long. He stayed too long. Oh, interference matrix. And he actually panics. He panics and accidentally just puts them there. Oh, no, the Barcode player. He panics and misclicks. He teleports right next to where they already were. Oh, but Ruff can't reach them. Ruff doesn't have any Vikings. He actually can't reach. If he just had a few Vikings, he could kite them to death. He could go in, shoot them, and just wear them down. But Ruff's going to say, okay, you've got a lot of supply up there. Let's try and push in. Ooh, Ruff. You got to respect the siege tank. Ruff! I thought as a mech guy, you'd really understand and respect and appreciate the power of the tank. Not again, not this position again. I cannot imagine this working for him. A terrible push once again. This is the ramp of Ruff's tears right here. That is the ramp of Ruff's not understanding how powerful one of his own favorite units, the siege tank, is. I mean, he's doing some cool breaks. This is a good push. This is a good push. He's going to lose 1 Thor, 2 Thor. Oh, he might lose all of them now, depending. Actually, is there Yamato? Okay, the BC's focus fire one of them. Yamato, you got a Yamato quickly, dude. Oh my god, he doesn't use his Yamatos. The tanks do come in, though. He does end up losing all the Thors. Dude, these fights are getting better. It's closing that unit's loss gap a little bit. There's some of these fights go really well Ruff's way, but Ruff's getting a bit too overeager on the counterattacks. I mean, I like the mass Thor Raven. It's cute, but where's his Raven count at? 7 now? Oh, I don't know, man. This is going to come down to the wire. 14 tanks. 14 Vikings, 6 battlecruisers, and 2 Widow Mines. Up against 7 Ravens, 12 Thors, and just more Thors and Hellions on the way. This is going to come down to the last units on this map. This is actually the sort of game where this could go either way. It's going to come down to who has more resources, and with Ruff being less efficient here, I feel like it's going to go Barcode's way, but could be either one. The Ravens, remember, they're still a 2 supply unit that can lock down 2 6 supply units. A battlecruiser and a Thor, 2 battlecruisers. So if you say I have 10 Ravens and you lock down 20 Thors on battle cruisers, that's 120 supply. That's usually their entire army supply. So with the correct spell usage, it is possible that you can do that. But what you kind of need to do is you need to land those spells and have all your units fighting at the same time so that you can kind of actually kill everything rather than, say, just have him pull back, wait for the interference matrix to wear off and re-engage. And it's kind of, how often are you going to land all 20 of those spells in one single engagement? But if Ruff can make miniature versions of that happen over and over, you know, small trades where he just shuts down some of the units and kills them, the Ravens are the most supply efficient unit in Terran versus Terran late game. Just because of that. Each one can drop 4 auto turrets at max energy. An auto turret, I would say Ruff fighting power is about as good as 3 Marines. Only lasts 10 seconds, but it's 3 Marines. So if you can drop 4 times 3, it's basically like just you spawn 12 Marines for 10 seconds only. But 12 Marines, that's 12 supply for 2 supplies. Kind of a way of thinking about that. They're not quite as tanky as 12 Marines in terms of overall hit points. Because it's a single building, they're kind of spread out. They don't take a lot of splash damage. It's actually very powerful. So Ravens... Whoa! Whoa! Barcode losing his patience. Okay, so he's going to jump on in. Actually, no, because he realized the army was on the left. So he's like, yeah, you know what? You can't defend this. There's almost nothing there, actually. So it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, and look at this. Ruff's going to dive. Ruff says, hey, your BCs are out of position. Oh, no, he loses a Raven. Ooh, good anti-armor missile. But you know what? This all comes down to this fight. This all comes down to this fight. 4 tanks and a bunch of missile turrets going to try to defend. Oh, Barcode player. I told you guys he doesn't use control groups properly. He panics and moves his units in. He's got to bring his siege tanks down from all these far bases. He's bringing some of them back, but not all of them. You can see this player just struggling in this chaotic situation to reorganize the defenses. He's got some tank siege there, but the interference matrices are landing. We talked about this, the dream. Some landing on the BCs as well. A lot of the Ravens do go down, but these Thors are actually getting a lot of surface area on this army right now. The Ravens are almost all gone. It's just Thors. A lot of tanks break out of interference matrix, and they're going to clear this Thor line. I think Barcode is barely going to hang on. He's still got 11 siege tanks. That means there's 9 siege tanks sieged elsewhere on the map that he just hasn't brought here. He's brought everything from the right and the bottom right. There's so many tanks up there. If he brought those over, he could have smashed the tail end of this fight. Instead, though, he hasn't been able to. 6 Hellions on the way. They're going to try and run in and get rid of the last mining here, which is mostly in the bottom right side. That's actually where Ruff should focus. These tanks coming over could cause a lot of trouble. So what do we got? Tanks, Vikings, and a Hellion on the way for Barcode, who's completely out of gas. Ruff has a giant mineral bank. He's going to try and just overwhelm with Hellbats from here. Tanks coming forward. A few interference matrices do go down. These Thors do take out a couple of these siege tanks. Mule's repairing right now. As Ruff here realizes every little bit of gas matters. Both of them have almost no gas mining. Just a tiny little bit trickling in, and it's going to be running out completely very soon. So we've got another 1,000 gas up there. And Ruff here, 200 gas on the bottom right. If he rebuilds that base, these Thors taking some tank shots, but they're just walking away little by little. He's still got so many minerals. If he just keeps massing Hellions, I think he can just overwhelm the ground army with that mineral bank that he's built up. Ruff here with the mineral bank could actually make this happen. The Raven's taking damage. Ooh, one goes down. He's going to try and get that one out. An auto turret to try and hit those Vikings would be nice. Just drop one and run. Those 2 Thors clearing out many, many missile turrets so far. The Hellion's going to try to run on in, maybe get on top of the production. There's 3 tanks that are trapped up in the main base, in fact, that they could actually defend this quite well. The Thors do get overrun in the bottom right. The tank's overwhelming this. Dude, there's just no money. There's no minerals left. He's got to drop mules on these patches. This last 2,000 minerals could actually save his bacon, but he wasn't able to finish mining these minerals. All the minerals in the bottom right. He's got to gather everything together. These tanks could still clear this up. They absolutely could. As long as he moves his tanks down methodically, slowly, carefully, he'll be good. But notice the Thors are waiting for him to unsiege and move everything down right now. I mean, losing the command centers is not the end of the world right now. That being said, there's still minerals and gas on Ruff's side of the map. It seems like Ruff just has more stuff here. The 2 Thors going to come in as well as their Hellbats for a bit of a flank on these siege tanks. The Hellbats move right up on top of those siege tanks, bringing even some tank-friendly fire onto them. Nicely done. Ruff clears up the last units. There's 3 tanks in the main, 3 more about to pop out. Still has not just killed that turret to free those tanks from their prison. This Barcode player, he's done so much so well, but those battle cruisers, I think he needed to like just really slow down the fight. He could not commit to a frontal engage with those BCs. They went down way too hard to the Thors. If those BCs were kept alive and used more to bait bait the Thors forward into the siege tanks. I think they could have been way more useful. He's got to just kill that turret. He hasn't realized it. He's got to kill that turret. Those tanks were trapped there for so long. Finally, they're going to get out. Tank is going to siege up on the edge of this. Should be able to land 1 or 2 shots on those Thors as they retreat. But look at that. Mass Thor Hellion Remax. And an insanely long game where they've mined out all of Oxide. And you know what? If you kill 69,000 resources of your opponent, I hear it does basically have the same effect as a real life 69. It makes them smell gooch, and it's a lot less pleasant than they thought it would be. It generally is not, not the way you want to go. You're like, that sounds like a lot of fun. Then you actually experience, you know, a long, epic 35-minute game where you lose every unit. And you're like, yeah, this actually just it's kind of painful. Oh, he's even going to steal the minerals. Look at that. It's a mule war. The Hellbat could move over and kill all of those, though. But the Thors will do what they can. And none of this is getting returned. And that's all Ruff wants to make sure. He says, as long as you're not mining, that's all fine. And oh, I bet he wishes he dropped those mules over here. That's another command center going down. These mules, actually, they might return some of it, eh? Oh, he actually gets some of it. I forgot. Yeah, the mules could just run. They'll maybe even get 2 trips in. Probably only 1 each. And they'll probably run out. But hey, look at that. He drops mass mules. He says, I'm going to steal all the minerals from your side of the map. And that 10,000 lost unit efficiency, that ends up coming in big. 29 Ravens, 67 Thors, 67 Thors, killing 71,000 enemy units. 19 Hellions, 57 Hellbats, so a total of like 76 Hellions, a Cyclone, a Marauder, a Marine, 70 SCVs, 99 SCVs went down for the Barcode, 65 Vikings, 23 BCs, 56 tanks, 10 mines, 2 Thors. Wow, those are some numbers. Those Ravens, though, I think, coming in so efficient in the long run, combined with the Thor's ability to wreck BCs, Vikings, and not do too bad against tanks, if they could get the interference matrices and whatnot down, pretty epic. Ruff here going for a crazy push to finish, just raw numbers. Dude, the tank's annihilating his Hellbats on that ramp, but he knows he's got the numbers, and he knows he can finish it. Decisive, clean, cutting action there. Thank you, Ruff, for showing us that lovely 2-port Raven opening. Harassment for days in the early days, transitioning into Thors and Hellbats with just 1 spellcaster to worry about. I love the simplicity of this composition, and I love that actually worked in the long run. GG, well played. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.